And I want to ask the question because we haven't really been able to get into just Michael Penix strictly. We talked more about the matchup and how I think Michigan is the more complete team. And the more I've been thinking about it, Sam, this Huskies team reminds me of how it's built. I don't know about the Ohio State team this year, but it's kind of Ohio State-ish, right? You have a quarterback who's going to throw for a ton of yards, a plethora of wide receivers, NFL wide receivers for that matter. It's a high-powered offense, but they're kind of soft defensively. And I do think Michigan is built to play that style. I do. They're built to compete with that type of style. And despite how great Michael Penix is, I think Michigan's a team to handle that type of style. I do. I think it's a bad matchup for Washington.
Well, here's the thing. Washington's offense has obviously been fantastic this year. Michael Penix, you can argue he's been the best quarterback in the country all season long. And as far as pure thrower goes, I would say it's probably him. I memean, did you see some of the dimes he was throwing against Texas? Absolutely unbelievable. But it's not just him. It's the wide receiver core. It's Rome Odunze. It's Polk, and it's Jalen McMillan. All three of those guys are NFL wide receivers, and they have the Joe Moore award-winning offensive line, which Michigan had won the previous 2 years. So offensively, and Dylan Johnson in the backfield, although he did get hurt to end the Texas game, we don't know if he's going to play. That would be a huge loss for Washington if he can't play, because one of the keys is Michigan absolutely has to shut down the Washington run game no matter who's back there, because we don't want Washington with a balanced offense with a rushing attack that is effective as well. But the bottom line is yes, obviously the Washington's offense is loaded, but so is Michigan's defense. They have never gone up against a defense anywhere close to what Michigan is going to bring to Houston for the national championship game. And here's the thing. You saw what they were able to do, this Michigan defense, against Alabama. They are great at literally every single position. You got 4 players on Michigan with at least 4.5 sacks. All of their rotating edge rushers have at least 4.5 sacks this season. They don't have a Hutchinson, they don't have an Ojabo, but they are very, very deep, and they come after you, especially with some of the blitz packages they were dialing up against Texas. Ooh-wee, that is something that I think can overwhelm any offensive line. And of course, in the defensive backfield, even though they're going up against great wide receivers, they do have corners who can cover, especially Will Johnson. Do I have some concerns that Polk, McMillan, or Odunze, whoever lines up against Josh Wallace and Mikey Sanders, still will be a little bit of a mismatch? Absolutely, but I think that will be offset by the defensive line getting pressure. And I haven't even mentioned the best group of defensive tackles in the nation: Mason Graham, Kenneth Grant, Chris Jacobs. Are you kidding me? And the linebackers: Junior Colson, Michael Barrett, Ernest Hausman. Whether they are blitzing, covering, like stopping the run, or covering the pass, they are all elite. I've been telling you all season long, and a lot of people, I wouldn't say didn't want to believe me, because you saw that they were a great defense.
Right.
But there was some skepticism about, can they do it against great teams? Can they do it against great offenses? And for the record, Michigan has not faced an offense as good as Washington, not even close. But they did go up against Alabama. They did go up against that SEC speed, and they pretty much overwhelmed them. So we'll see how it goes going into Washington. But I do believe that this Michigan team, this Michigan defense, you will be seeing a lot of these guys as first-round draft picks in the next couple of years. You'll be seeing these guys littered around the NFL, and I think they are built to make a statement against Washington.